Welcome to the Living Plate Teaching Kitchen, where we maintain a conversation around food and nutrition so you can stress less in the kitchen. I'm Jeannie Petrucci, registered dietitian nutritionist. And today is Thursday. It's usually the day that we do a lot of work for our brands. Today we're doing some fun work with Simple Mills. We're going to be using their artisan bread mix to make scones. This artisan bread mix is an amazing product for a couple of reasons. It's got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ingredients, all of which you can pronounce. So almond flour, arrowroot, flax meal, tapioca, sea salt, and baking soda. So it really can go sweet, it can go savory, it bakes up really beautifully. I have a gluten-free household, so I always have pretty much a case of this in my pantry at all times. So many fun things that we can do with it. So today what we're going to be making are cherry chocolate almond scones. Sounds great, right? But we're going to give you a lot of options with that. So why don't we just get started? We're going to start by whisking our wet ingredients together. So we're going to use eggs. We're going to add some water. We're going to add some melted coconut oil. You really could use any melted shortening or oil. I like coconut oil because it tastes really great. But just be sure that your eggs are at room temperature, because if you add melted coconut oil to cold liquid, it's going to seize up and it's not going to be really pretty. So we have our eggs at room temp. We added the coconut oil. We're going to add some apple cider vinegar that helps with raising the dough. We're going to add some maple syrup. And then we're going to add some, oh, we need vanilla. Give me some vanilla. Have to have a splash of vanilla in this for sure. So great. Thank you, Anna. Anna, our stellar intern. Here we go. Just a splash, maybe like half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of vanilla. And now we're going to whisk together the wet ingredients. We've already started preheating our oven to 350, so it's almost there. That's great. Okay, so our wet ingredients are whisked together nicely. Oop, oven's ready. And now we're going to mix together our dry ingredients, which is awesome because it all comes in one bag. So here we go. Our artisan bread almond flour mix. And just break up some of the clumps. You know, if it's humid and in the summertime, you might have a couple of clumps, but this is pretty great. Okay, and then we're going to make a well in the bottom of our mixture here. I'm going to add the wet ingredients. Here we go. And we're going to start mixing it up. So you do not want to overmix the batter or your scones will get chewy. Just want to mix it and stir it and fold it until everything is well coated. Oh, it smells so good already. We haven't even gotten it in the oven. Okay, terrific. So you can see it's really just a nice thick wet batter. Here comes the fun part. Let's do our add-ins. So today we're going to be using slivered almonds. I'm going to add half a cup of those. Chocolate chips, here they come. Oh yeah, my kids always get so excited when we add the chocolate chips. And then today we're going to add some tart dried cherries. And you're just going to fold those in. Whoa, these are going to be loaded, Anna. We eat really well here on Thursdays. So if you ever want to stop by and say hello, we love to share. Okay, so it is all mixed up and we're ready to form our scones. If you wanted to do any other combination, just think about the categories. So we had a nut, we had the chocolate chips, which is like a flavor booster, and then we had some dried fruit. So you could do a walnut maple scone with some dried chopped dates maybe. You could use dried cranberries in this mix as well. So just mix up the dried fruit with different kinds of nuts and you get some really great combinations. You could also do this savory. You could use herbs, nutritional yeast. We love using nutritional yeast to give things a cheesy flavor. You might want to add some salt or like garlic powder to it to make it just a little bit more savory. But we'll probably do another video for that. Okay, so now I have my marble top. And you don't want to take especially a gluten-free flour and put it straight onto marble. It's just going to stick and make a mess. So I have some extra tapioca flour here. Just going to spread it out. And I'm going to take my batter, put it right in the middle here. I want to get every last bit of this goodness on this board. Oops. There we go. Here we go, Anna. Hand that off to you. Thank you. Okay, now we have a nice ball of dough. You want to get a little bit of tapioca starch on your hands. My kids love doing this. You don't have to knead the dough. You just have to press it into a nice circle. So just make sure that as you're doing this, I have a little pastry spatula here, which is always nice to have, but not necessary. And we're just going to make this into a nice circle that is about 1/2 inch tall or thick. Okay, so you have your circle, and now you're just going to cut it into scones. You're going to cut it in half once. Okay, clearly we need a little bit of tapioca starch on our knife as well. So we want that knife to come in and out nice and easily. You could also wet the knife. Then we're going to go perpendicular to that, and then you're just going to cut again through the different triangles, and there you have it. So now we have 8 perfectly portioned scones, and we are going to move them over to our baking sheet. So I had this out to show you this as well. You could use like a biscuit cutter for smaller scones. I love using the biscuit cutter for the savory scones, like a rosemary, salt, nutritional yeast scone is really great as a little biscuit. You can put an egg in it, it's really terrific. But this is an English muffin maker, so mold, and you can use that as well. So really any shape, have fun with it. Go crazy. All right, we're going to remove the scones with our spatula. And again, you don't have to have this. You could just use a regular spatula if you have one at home. And then just gently put them on the baking sheet. And once they're on the baking sheet, feel free to sprinkle a little bit of coconut sugar on it. I'm a dietitian. Did I just say put sugar on it? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yes, go ahead. Put a little sugar on it. It's fine. These scones are not overly sweet. We just used a touch of maple syrup, really per serving. So feel free to use a little bit of turbinado sugar on top. It's really quite nice. So the extra tapioca starch that you're seeing here, don't worry about that too much. The wetness from the scone is really going to absorb that quite nicely. Okay, terrific. So we are going to pop these in the oven, and we'll be back with a little bit of TV magic to show you how they came out. See you in a minute. Okay, we're back. The scones have been removed from the oven. We did put some sugar on top, so they have a nice crust. They're warm on the inside, nice and flaky, just like all good. These are, again, as a reminder, the cherry chocolate almond scones. So we're going to remove them to our plate as if we were serving our guests for a nice brunch. And with the holidays coming up, this would certainly be nice to serve. If you are not serving these right away, I strongly recommend that you freeze them. They're not going to keep well overnight. As with most gluten-free goods, they are going to get kind of doughy, and you really just want them crisp and flaky. So make sure you freeze them if you're not going to eat them right away. So here's our platter, and we are going to whip up a simple maple cream to serve on the side. And actually, we're loaded here. We need to make some more room. Look at how beautiful these look. Okay, so we have some space here now for some fruit and some cream. So let's make the maple cream first. We're going to use Siggi's yogurt, another one of our meal plan brand partners. We love Siggi's because it's high in protein and lower in sugar, and it just tastes great. The texture is amazing. You can see, look at how thick that is. Oh, that is gorgeous. Look at that. Okay. This reminds me of Mrs. Doubtfire. Remember Mrs. Doubtfire put the clotted cream on her face? Yeah, it's great. It's very thick and nice. And actually, that's kind of what we're going for. We're going for a nice creamy texture here. So we're going to add some maple syrup and some vanilla. Starting with a yogurt that's plain allows you to control the amount of sweetness and sugar that goes into your recipe. So don't ever be shy about buying a plain yogurt and adding your own sweetener. So I'm actually going to stir this up. Anna, do we have a whisk? I would love a whisk to get this nice and smooth. Let's see here. Great. Coming together nicely. Perfect. Thank you, Anna. Okay, so I'm going to whip this up nicely. Okay. So, oh, it smells so good. And we have this cute little cream dispenser. And I'm going to just pour that in here. And you can see now it's nice and runny. It's going to pour beautifully over our scones. And now I'm just going to garnish the platter with some berries, some beautiful blackberries this morning. Okay, so here is our platter, cherry chocolate almond scones, some nice maple vanilla cream, and fresh fruit. So this is going to be a beautiful brunch edition. We're going to drop the recipe into our Facebook feed, so you'll be able to capture that recipe. This recipe and others are also on our meal plans. If you don't already subscribe to our meal plans, just reach out and we'll get you set up. If you work with a registered dietitian and they would like access to our meal plans, just let us know and we'll get them set up with those as well. So thanks for joining us today in the kitchen and happy cooking.